Hello, everyone. I hope to find peace moving forward in life, not just with those who support me, but even with those who bully me, stalk my every move, and spread false stories. The past several years have been long and difficult. My name is Andrew Ditch. I was born on June 7th, 1985. I currently live in Erie, Pennsylvania, but I'm originally from Tonawanda, New York. Let me be clear. I have never been accused, questioned, or charged in connection with any predatory behavior. I am not a registered sex offender. Anyone continuing to spread such rumors is lying. These falsehoods are rooted in prejudice against me simply because I'm different, and you make assumptions without understanding my truth. I may not be perfect, but I live my life with awareness of what's going on around me. Meanwhile, some of you make wild accusations, like claiming my caregiver violated HIPAA, without any proof. You claim to have evidence that I don't have autism, ADHD, Tourette's, a learning or intellectual disability, or language challenges. You say I don't need diapers or assistive communication tools, AC. But don't you think real doctors and therapists would have removed those diagnoses if they were untrue? Do you see the contradiction? You say I'm faking and still call me a predator, yet I've never been arrested for such a thing. What about the charges in Cleveland that were dropped after I was jailed for allegedly faking disabilities? Why did the court acknowledge my developmental disabilities and dismiss those charges? My Social Security disability records go all the way back to when I was 7 years old. Didn't you claim I poisoned or tried to suffocate my family? What came of that? Didn't you say I broke my dad's ribs? What happened with that? Childhood records show conflict between my mom and dad, and that my mother used her stepson, my dad's son, to make a false accusation of abuse. Those same records also show I didn't speak until age 5. How could I possibly have learned enough language between ages 5 and 8 to make up or understand anything sexual? Those reports also mention my incontinence, and that I was considered a danger to myself and others. Except in structured, consistent environments, which is a hallmark of autism. I required no mental health medications, and a doctor even described my progress as a miracle recovery without pharmaceuticals. They document that my school couldn't meet my communication, reading, math, social, and emotional needs consistent with an autism diagnosis. I had to be reclassified as a student with a disability and attend a specialized school to meet my educational and emotional development. I'm not a doctor, but autism is defined by social, emotional, and communication differences, along with repetitive behaviors and atypical responses to sensory experiences. So how exactly am I faking autism? My mom raised my brother and me on her own. My brother had severe asthma and developmental delays, and my mom suffered from a serious back injury caused by her work as a nurse. This environment made it especially difficult to meet the needs of a child with disabilities. In the early 90s, a child diagnosed with autistic disorder, or classic autism, required full-time attention and structured support. A single stay-at-home parent with a debilitating injury couldn't realistically keep up with the intense demands of raising a child with both autism and ADHD, as I had. I want to be clear, my diagnosis was autistic disorder, not Asperger's or high-functioning autism. The key distinction was my speech delay, which significantly shaped my challenges. So how can anyone question my credibility, especially without evidence? There's no proof that I ever harmed a child, faked anything, or hurt my parents. There's also no evidence that I ever violated HIPAA. On the contrary, I have documentation supporting both her appropriate conduct and my diagnosis. I'm not the kind of person some have tried to paint me as. The term pedophile refers to real predators, monsters. I've been wrongly targeted and mischaracterized. I even have evidence showing I was having a meltdown in my brother's car when my dad yelled. I didn't hurt my dad, and I certainly never intended to. At most, I may have accidentally caused him pain when I pulled on his seat to help myself out of the car, unaware that he already had broken ribs. I also have proof that I used my oil diffuser regularly, and my mom never reported being bothered by it. Only my dad did. I've made over 1,000 calls to the police over the years regarding my dad's abuse. I never wanted him arrested. I just wanted safety and fairness. There's even a text message I sent, joking that I put something in their food, but that was a coping mechanism. I was reacting to being humiliated for wearing adult diapers and being called a fake by people I trusted, like Joanne, Erica, and Rose. Those individuals from the internet betrayed that trust and made it harder for me to get real help. They're part of what led to a police report which falsely promised that I'd be placed in a group home, something that never actually happened. In the end, I was found innocent because a story written out of frustration or distress isn't a confession, and there was no evidence to say otherwise. Why would Royal or any medical provider believe what's posted on Reddit or YouTube about me? That page exists solely to bully me. Every day, they create content mocking me, and some of them even admitted wanting to bring me down. They knew I was in a vulnerable place at Royal, yet still spread lies. HIPAA was never violated. I gave both verbal and written permission, and Royal had that documentation. So, why did they misrepresent my situation in the discharge papers, especially when I was the one who requested discharge? You probably didn't know that Royal claimed no caregivers wanted to work with me. But the truth is, one caregiver filed a complaint about another staff member who failed to support me and threatened her. Instead of investigating properly, Royal twisted her report and blamed me. This is just a glimpse of what I've had to deal with. Online harassment, caregivers being misrepresented, and false narratives all take a toll, especially when I already struggle with change. What matters most is that I've been told this clarity and documentation give me real credibility. So to those who continue bullying or doubting me without any evidence, maybe it's time they stop.
If you like what you see here, consider becoming a member of the channel, where you'll have access to not only this, but 3 other emotes to make fun of the creature, as well as member-exclusive time lapses on how they were made. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to help expose the creature. And remember, Andrew Ditc fakes autism.